Asha's Journey, from Village Girl. Chapter 1. The Beginning of My Journey. My name is Asha, and this is my story. I was born in a small village in India. Life was not easy. We were poor. My father worked as a farmer. He left home early in the morning and came back late at night, his clothes covered in dust. My mother took care of us, me and my two younger brothers. She cooked, cleaned, and helped in the fields when needed. Our house was small, just 2 rooms made of mud and wood. We had no electricity. At night, we used oil lamps. I still remember studying under the dim light, my eyes hurting, but I didn't stop. I loved learning. Books were my best friends. I didn't have many toys, but I had big dreams. At school, I worked hard. Many girls in my village didn't go to school after a certain age, but I kept going. Some people laughed at me. "What will you do with all this education?" they said, but I ignored them. I believed education could change my life. Chapter 2. The Road Gets Harder. When I turned 16, my father became very sick. He could no longer work in the fields. Suddenly, we had no income. My mother started working extra jobs, cleaning houses in the nearby town. I wanted to help, so I also looked for work. After school, I started sewing clothes for our neighbors. I didn't know much, but I learned quickly. Every rupee I earned went into buying food and medicine. Life was very hard. I often cried at night, but I never showed my tears during the day. There were days when we had only rice and salt to eat. Some days, not even that. My brothers were still young. I took care of them, helped them with their studies, and made sure they didn't lose hope. I had no time for fun. My childhood disappeared too soon. One day, my teacher called me after class. She had seen my sadness and my effort. "Asha," she said, "you are one of the brightest students I have seen. Don't stop now. You can do great things." That day, I felt something inside me, a small fire. I didn't know how, but I promised myself I would never give up. Chapter 3. Leaving the Village. After I finished school, I wanted to go to college, but we had no money. I spoke to my mother about it. She looked tired and worried, but she said, "Go, my child. If there is a way, we will find it." I applied to a government college in the city. I also applied for a scholarship. Weeks passed. I waited every day for a letter. Then one morning, it came. I had been accepted, and I received a full scholarship. That was the first time I saw my mother cry with joy. I packed a small bag and left my village for the city. I was scared. I had never been outside my village alone. The city was big, noisy, and fast. I didn't know anyone. I shared a room with 3 other girls in a small hostel. We all came from poor families. We supported each other like sisters. College was hard. I had to catch up with students who had better education, better books, better English. But I worked day and night. I used the library like it was my home. I read. I asked questions. I wrote essays. I practiced speaking English in front of the mirror. Slowly, things got better. I began to understand more. My marks improved. I started helping other students who were struggling. I also worked part-time as a tutor to earn some money. Every month, I sent some money back home. Chapter 4. Rising from the Struggle. After 4 years, I graduated with top marks. I was the first girl from my village to do so. I was invited to speak at the college ceremony. I stood on stage, shaking but proud. I talked about where I came from, the hard days, the hunger, the doubt, but also the hope and the power of never giving up. Many people clapped. Some had tears in their eyes. After college, I got a job at a good company. My first salary felt like a dream. I called my mother. She didn't say much. She just cried softly. My father, now older and weak, said, "You did what I never could. You changed our story." With my job, I rented a small apartment. I brought my family to the city. My brothers joined a good school. My mother finally rested. I told her, "Now it's your time to relax." She smiled, the first real smile I'd seen in years. But I didn't stop there. I remembered all the girls from my village who had to quit school, so I started a small foundation to support girls' education. I began visiting villages, talking to parents, telling them why education matters. Chapter 5. A New Life? A New Purpose? Years passed. I worked hard and saved money. I also studied further and got a management degree. Today I run my own company. It's not very big, but it's growing. I employ women from poor backgrounds. We train them and help them become independent. When I look back, I still feel the pain of those days, the hunger, the fear, the long nights. But I also feel pride, because I didn't give up, because I believed in myself. People ask me, "Asha, how did you do it?" And I say, with hope, hard work, and a heart that refused to break. Today my family lives with dignity. My mother still wakes up early, makes tea, and prays. My father sits in the garden and tells stories. My brothers are both in college. One wants to become a doctor. And me? I speak at schools and conferences. I write. I share my story. I meet young girls with dreams, and I tell them, if I could do it, so can you. I may have been born in a poor home, but I was rich in dreams, and that made all the difference.